Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lightfoot series. And we picked up something special. We picked up some pretty rare and pretty decent condition 33 12.5 16.5 tires, which are going on these 16.5 wheels. So I think they're going to be pretty cool. They are a little, dry rotted, but honestly, nothing is worse than radio girls. So, and I've put a couple thousand miles on these tires, so I'm honestly not too worried about these ones. These ones are at least stored inside, so these are still in really good shape. The white letter is still in really good shape, so it just needs to be cleaned and bleached, but that's fine. Pretty much the same thing I had to do with those ones, but those ones are way older than these ones, I believe. Let's see, is there even a DOT number on these? Let's see, these are 09. So these are from 2009, these are 2010. So, 1 year difference between those ones and those ones. So, not surprising. So, but I think these ones, because I think these were on a narrower wheel, where my wheels are 10 wides, so I think they'll puff out a little bit more. So I think we should be fine there, because these are 12 wide tires, and I think since they're going on a 10 wide wheel, I think they'll puff out a little bit more. So, because if you see on Fantasy Girl here, these are technically the same size tires, because these are 33 12.5 15s. So the only difference is wheel size, but as you can tell, these ones are older too, and these ones are actually going to be up for sale. The tires are, the wheels aren't, because we got new tires for it. But I've been driving on these, and these are perfectly fine as well. So they don't shake, they don't shimmy. Obviously you don't want to daily drive on them, but they're good for show wheels. And so, yeah, picked those up. Pretty stoked. Tomorrow we'll be painting the frame, so I need to go get some stuff for that. But I'm pretty excited for all this. So hopefully by the end of this video, we at least have an engine and maybe a bed or a cab on the frame. So, or everything on the frame, that would be great. So, but I'll keep you posted on all that. So just wanted to share this win. All right, everyone, we are back working on the frame. As you've seen, we already got tires for the truck. Now we need to go ahead and get the frame ready to go. So with that, I need to get this bracket torn off and start prepping it and then paint. So honestly, not a lot to it. So this should go, famous last words though, this should go pretty quick. But like I said, famous last words. So, so yeah, I just gotta get this bracket off, and then I have to figure out how to get that off, because I'm sure these will be in the way of our headers. So looks like that is just threaded into the frame, and then these have nuts out the bottom. So 9/16 here, and then probably the same for down there. This is a half. Oh, that's a 9/16, so perfect. So get that bracket off, and we should be good to go. So yeah, I'll give you an update when this thing is hopefully fully prepped. So yeah, all right. We have the frame prepped and ready. It is ground down, ready to rock. And no, it's not perfect by any means at all. I just want to my main goal is to make what you're going to see, like the sides of the frame, the sides, and then in the engine bay. I want that to look as good as we can. And underneath the frame too, same thing, make it look as good as we can. And then I also masked off the diff cover, because the diff cover on the front's chrome, the one on the back is going to be chrome. So that'll be cool. So yeah, we are prepped and we are ready to rock and roll. Actually, it looks a lot better than I thought it would. And I found the VIN for the truck that came off of this frame, and it is an actual, see that F26? Oh yeah, that means this is a legit highboy frame. So that is awesome. And I also tore the shocks off, front shocks off, so that way I can get a baton behind there and get all that fun stuff. So yeah, we are just waiting for the air compressor to air up, and then we should be good to go. So yeah, all right guys, so frame is painted, and not all the way painted, but it's painted. I'll come back later with some rattle cans and do the underside of the frame, because with the gravity feed gun it didn't really like it, but it's painted. For most of the part, it's painted. So now pretty much what I got to do now is start tearing the actual truck apart and bringing stuff over and laying it in the frame and get all ready to go. So should be pretty easy. Just need to get, first thing is engine and trans, get that over here, and probably pull the frame to over there, or at least yank it out into the middle of the road or something, and get a and just lay it in the frame. So nothing too crazy about it. So just gotta yank it and make sure it stays covered from the snow and stuff, and we'll be good. So I'm excited. We're coming together. We are slowly coming together. All right, I know I didn't show a lot yesterday because my phone was dead, but surprise, it is out. And it is much better that it is out, because now we can start cleaning everything up. And good news is, engine is in the back of Radio Girl currently, engine and trans. It's covered up because it's about to rain. So yeah, covered up, ready to rock. And all I gotta say is I'm so happy I ordered new engine mounts, because these stupid Chevy style engine mounts are atrociously bad. They're such a pain to get out, to get an engine out. Because I thought undoing the bolt here would just be fine, lift it out, no problem. No, it's not fine. Because it turns out you have to, you gotta pretty much lift and push forward. And so we had to get the bottom ones out. And shout out to Walter, the neighbor next door, for helping me, because it wouldn't have gone as easy if it would have been just me. So we had to get the bottom ones out, obviously. The freaking, you can see how it was, because there is the bolt head right there. You can see right there, bolt head, bottom bolt. You had to get those unbolted and pull those out. And that led to pulling the headers off. And that was a whole thing. So, but it's good now, it's out. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do for engine paint and go from there. And then I need to start getting the cab off. And then I also realized, when it comes to the drive shaft that's sitting back there, the drive shaft has a slip yoke, and the drive shaft that's in the frame doesn't. So, where the drive shaft itself is the slip yoke. So I think what we're gonna do, and this sounds sketchy, but that's what I can afford right now, is we're gonna weld up the mid shaft that goes from the trans to the transfer case. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get the slip yoke on and weld up the drive shaft, and then and so that way it is a full slip yoke drive shaft. So yeah, all the drive shafts are getting work done now, so it's fine. So, and don't pay attention to all the freaking transmission fluid that's now on the ground, because it well, that's actually not transmission fluid, that is my blood. So I bled out last night, so yeah, I call it recycling. But yeah, so that's all done. We have a bed full of parts with a hood, and so we're getting there slowly. yeah, so I also messaged a couple companies that I think would be interested in helping sponsor this build. So I'm waiting to see what they say about everything. And then, but the plan for the engine is we're gonna go dark red block, like dark maroon block, damn near brown, and then white valve covers. So, and then the headers are going gold and the fan is going gold. So, 'cause I hate that writing that's on it. So that's what's happening with that. So I am excited, to say the least. So that's the plan for right now. Is mostly to get the engine cleaned up and drop it back in the frame. Engine mount should be here tomorrow. I need to get the wheels and tires mounted so I can get them on the frame, but the guy that I go to for my tire stuff, he hasn't messaged me, so I may need to think about that. May need to take him to a tire shop and get him done. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, but I'll keep you posted on the next update. So yeah. All right, guys, we're back on Lightfoot. Sorry, it's been kind of like hell when it comes to this video, but good news is engine is cleaned and it is painted. Like, that gold is pretty. Originally I was gonna go dark red with it, but I couldn't find a dark red that would work that wasn't brown, so naturally it is now gold. So, or I guess you could say brass. And then because the valve covers, they're gonna go white, then the headers will go white. So I think that'll look good. And then I think the fan is gonna go gold as well. I'm pretty sure of that. So yeah, so I'm hoping maybe today, hopefully, we can get this engine sat in the frame. And don't pay attention to the valve covers. They, like I mentioned, valve covers are going white, but these ones will not be the ones going on. I'll be getting some nice CVF racing ones, like the ones that are on Death Machine. And Thunderbake's not here. But they're on Thunderbaked, Death Machine, and I bought many sets of them. And I did have a set going on Showgirl, but that changed. So I'll be getting a set of CVF valve covers for this, and they are big and they are bulky and they look super good. So I am super excited. So I guess I'll let you guys know if this gets put in the frame or not. All right, good news, pretty shitty news. Good news is motor and trans are in the frame. Shittier news is we got to move the mounts, so that's fun. Had to move them 2 inches back, so weird how that works after moving that 2 inches forward. But yeah, so that's fine, because that's because we wanted to make sure it fit in the transmission would fit in the cross member just fine. And then drive shaft, we'll have to get a custom drive shaft made, so that'll be shitty. So I'll have to get some money for that, so that's fun. Other than that, the frame looks good, so I'm happy how it turned out painted. It's just shitty that I got to do it all pretty much again, so not too happy about it, but it's whatever. So yep, yippee. So I'm at Brian's house. We got to get the mounts welded back in because we're not bolting them back in, and then that way the motor can sit down inside and then use the tow truck to get it back over there. So that's the plan. All right, we're back with an update. We have a Highboy here now. A 1970 Highboy. So literally what Lightfoot will look like when it's done. Just not as beat up as this one is. So this is bumpy. This thing is atrociously beat up, but it is a decently nice truck. But yeah, then we got Lightfoot over there. But we have updates for Lightfoot. I got the steering box for the frame, so we'll be able to steer the truck, kind of. Waiting to try to find a pitman arm for it, because probably didn't have one. And we also got a headlight bezel for it to replace the one that's missing on that truck. So that is good. Also, wheels. As you notice, they're supposed to be white, but the lips on these two are black. Well, what's going on is I am going to do the lips in black and then mask off the lips and then paint the inside of the wheels white. So, I know, kind of weird, but I think it'll look really good in the long run. So, just bear with me on this one and just wait till you see what they'll look like when they get done. I think you're going to really like them. So, because I already do. So, yes. All right. So, these two are drying. These two are pretty much good to go. Let them sit overnight, obviously. And then I think I'm going to run a pinstripe just between the white and the black. I'm going to run a gold pinstripe. So that way, one, you don't see the tape line. And two, I think it'll match really well with the fact that the engine is going gold. So that's the plan there. And then as you guys seen, we got the tires here and our white letter, so those will clean up nicely, and everything will just work out real well for this. So white letter with some really sick wheels I think will look really good on this truck. And I need to do one more coat on this wheel and then it should be good to go. But yeah, so I think it'll be pretty sick. And the fact that these wheels, these three, came off of that truck is crazy. Because those two used to be on the back of that truck. They were on it when I bought the truck. And this one was the spare. So, which is why there was only 3, not 4. So, I was lucky enough to find a 4th. So, thank God there. And so, yeah, I'll keep you guys posted once everything is pinstriped. All right, so we're back. These turned out really nice, I will say. So the fresh Wimbledon white paint with the nice gloss black. Now the plan is to pinstripe a gold pinstripe around just the gap between the white and the black. So that way it looks better and they are just a little bit nicer. So that's the plan, and I'll give you guys an update once that happens. And after that, tires go on. So yeah, well, here they are. And to say that I'm pleased is an understatement. For how beat these things were, they turned out pretty nice. They're nowhere near perfect, but hey, they're good enough for the girls we go with. So they turned out absolutely amazing, to say the least. And the fact that you can't even find these wheels anywhere, and these ones look this good, is an understatement. So I'm excited to throw these on the truck, to say the least. At least get them on the frame, but I don't think they're gonna go on the frame until the body's on, which I'm hoping to get done next week. So I'm hoping we can figure something out when it comes to renting a forklift. So, and yeah, because there's a rental places right down the road here that rents them. So I'm hoping we can maybe swap everything over and go from there. But yeah, these wheels look freaking phenomenal. I'm gonna let them sit and bake for a little bit in the sun, and maybe throw the hair dryer on them again. Make sure the vinyl's gonna stay, and go from there. But yeah, these things turned out pretty sick. So I'm pretty pleased with how they turned out. So yeah. All right, behold the most beautiful set of wheels and tires you have ever seen in your life. They are back and they look great. This one they had to throw a tube in, unfortunately, because the valve stem was too screwed up, so that's fun. But the rest of them are good to go, so that makes me happy, and they're all balanced and ready to rock. I cannot wait to see how they look sitting on this truck's frame. Oh, this truck on the Highboy frame. I think it'll look super, super, super sick. And yeah, and these wheels just look way better than what they did before. So they're a little dirty right now because they put them in the water to make sure they sealed. But yeah, these things are freaking sick, and they turned out so nice. So I dig the hell out of them. So they were not cheap to get mounted, so that's for sure. But worth it. So we'll get her done. So I'm going to have these go sit in the back of the U-Haul for a fat minute until we get the cab and the bed swapped over onto the frame, and go from there. So, and then the goal is today, hopefully, is to get this truck up to Brian's. So I'm going to work on getting the drive shaft undone, and then probably scavenge some help to get this thing get this thing up on the trailer. So that's the plan for right now, at least. So we'll see what ends up happening. I'll keep you guys posted on this one. So yeah. All right. Truck has arrived. Frame is sitting here, and got headers on it. It's just I need to pull the headers off, pull this side off, and take a grinder to all the edges here that I had to cut, so that way they don't crack the frame. So, and then I'll come back, paint the frame back up, and then because I brought paint, I'll just paint that back up, lay some paint down on this engine because some of it decided to come off. So need to lay some paint down on that, then we'll be good to go. So then I got the steering box that I'm going to bolt on too. Found a pitman arm for it, so that's good. I just need to have Brian make me a drop from here to here. So yeah, and then we should be good to go. And then I also put that back on. And I also brought paint for the headers, and actually, did I? No, it's actually in the white truck, so I need to come back up and do those. But yeah, we should be pretty much good to go. I just need to pull header off on that side, weld that back up, and then paint the welds, start painting underneath again, and go from there. But we are making our way. Welcome back, everybody. Today's a big day, and I haven't given you guys an update yet because every time I've been giving an update, I was going to, my phone died. So here's an update. Steering box is on. Pitman arm is ordered. Engine has been repainted, so that's why it looks so much nicer now than it did before. Headers are fully mounted, ready to rock and roll there. And we even got the frame, well, the truck over here, and all the body bolts are unbolted, steering's undone, brakes are undone, everything is fully undone. As you can see, the bench seat's out of it. Everything is stripped out of this thing. So we are ready to rock and roll now. So, which is why I have the trailer here today, because me, Ralph, Brian, and Josh are gonna take this and the frame. I'm gonna load the frame on the trailer. Ralph's gonna load that on his, and we are going to take these and go get everything swapped over. So, big day, very big day. So I am excited, to say the least. So I'm gonna go wake Brian up because it's noon and he's not awake yet. So yeah. All right, frame is loaded on Radio Girl. We're just about to load the body on two-wheel drive frame on the back of Ralph's truck. So keep you posted on everything.
This is why I say don't go off the fucking driveway.
Yeah. It's That'll work. Hell yeah. F100 to the rescue, baby. Well, I got good news. It is officially swapped on. And even better news is it's not sagging as much as I thought it would. So that's good. That means that it'll look good sitting on there. So now I'm just hoping, you know, this goes on as smoothly as the bed goes on as smoothly as I'm hoping. Today I'm hoping to get the hood back on so I can put everything else on with the hood on. So I'm hoping to get that done. Luckily it didn't dent the cab or anything, so everything's still good there. So just need to drill the holes out. Need to drill these out right here for that, and need to fix my fuel line, but should be good still. So we're getting there. All right, I can't remember where I left you guys off, so I'll kind of just go through everything. I got the drive shaft measured out, and I called the drive shaft company, and I want to go through them with getting the drive shafts done because they gave me the best quote out of everyone. Got the fuel line done, cooling system's done, distributors in, degreed where it needs to go. Spark plug wires are on where they should be. Yeah, as of right now, I'm just waiting for the steering, because I ordered the U-joints for the steering shaft, so those just need to get here, and then then Brian has double D-rod to run in between, and then I have the pitman arm on. We need to fabricate the pitman arm with a slip joint for that, and then trying to think. Oh, we also are waiting for the spacer for the carb to get here, and that should be here this weekend. And then we can throw the carb on, and then pretty much at that point we'll be able to start this thing, technically. But I also have the alternator brackets coming, so it should also be here around that time. Probably Monday is what I'm thinking. Well, I said the 27th, so Wednesday or next Friday is when it'll be here. So yeah, I'm pulling the electrical out of the 2-wheel drive frame right now so I can run it to this truck, and then that way we can have electrical ran for the lights and everything. When it comes to brake lines, Brian's gonna work on that after the whole shebang with the 4Runner gets done. That needs to leave tomorrow to go to St. George, so they're working on that right now. And then I'm trying to think, what else have I done? Oh, so brake lines for the rear. I ordered one. Well, Brian gave me one. It didn't work. I ordered one. Didn't work. I found another one with all the correct fittings that I need. I ordered that, so I'm going to go exchange the one that I bought for the one that I just ordered. So that'll be tomorrow morning's agenda there. And then let me think. I think that's it for right now. I do need to run up to the cabin and get the bench seat out of Sandy to put in here. I've got the carpet. It's just I'm trying to decide, because I found a really nice carpet kit for $150, and I think I can get them down on price, and it's brown, and I weirdly think it would look good in here with the brown. So I'm trying to decide on that. It'll be brown carpet, black seat, so, and plus it won't get as dirty as easy. So I'm thinking of going that route to kind of match the outside of the truck a little bit. So that's what I think. I'm gonna try to get this electrical yanked out. I just need to, as you can see, it just runs right here. So I pretty much just need to bend and push on every single tab and get everything out. So we'll see how that goes. I will keep you posted, but it shouldn't take me too much longer. So hello everyone, welcome back. This is where I'm gonna end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing all this progress of Lightfoot. Kind of telling you what's going on right now is I'm getting the front drive shaft done, or at least attempting to, getting that done right now. It's probably going to be done tomorrow, because I've been chasing around trying to find the correct U-joints for everything, and so I need to figure that out at the moment. So we're getting close on the truck. The carb spacer was supposed to be here today for it, and it was not. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. So I think a lot of work will get done on the truck tomorrow. So I'll at least have a front drive shaft put in the truck. I'll have the rear brake line put on the truck. Hopefully get the bed put on the truck, and hopefully get the carb thrown on the truck, which means we're that much close to getting it to run, and we're so close, and we are so close to being there. Then after, I also ordered the steering gear, the steering U-joints. We need to weld one of them to the to where the old drag joint was, since it's a two-wheel drive steering column. So we need to weld one of them to there, and then the other one should just bolt on to that. And so yeah, we're getting there. Slowly but surely we're getting there. And then let's see what else we need to do. Then steering wise, we need to get the ball joints and the tie rod, well, the center link put on. So we will have steering, and then I need to do the front brake lines, the rubber lines, and then bleed the brakes. And then we'll have brakes, and then drive shafts, obviously, and then the bed, and then the interior, and all that stuff. So we're getting closer, slowly but surely. The goal is to drive the truck April 17th. Whether that happens or not is purely depending on my financial situation. But yeah, so if I can keep working, keep doing detailing jobs, keep doing stuff for Han and Colton, obviously, then we'll be getting there. As I'm posting this video, this is the week before Autorama. So, because today is currently Saturday. Today is Saturday the 21st. Yes. So, which is when you're seeing this. So yeah. And that means that this week is Autorama. So you guys are gonna be freaking stoked. I cannot wait for you guys to see how Showgirl looks. It's freaking done, and it looks so good. I'll do all my shout outs about who did what on that car on Friday, because today is Saturday, but on Friday the 27th, the video of Showgirl will be posted. So stay tuned for that. You guys will definitely not want to miss that. So I am very, very, very excited to show you guys. It's been a lot of years in the making, a lot of stress, a lot of discussions, a lot of just, am I really making the right decision in building this car? You know, a lot of big things going into this, and a lot of it I thank a lot of my friends and for helping me, and you know, a lot of different people. There's going to be a lot of people to thank in this, and I need to write all of it down, because if I don't, then I'll forget, and then someone's gonna be like, well, I did that. Well, that's why I'm gonna write it down. Okay, so if you want to be part of the Showgirl reveal, the reveal, so there's going to be two reveals. The first one will be for the high school kids, Friday at 11 a.m. when they show up. So that's going to be like a soft unveiling, so the kids will see it then. But the big reveal of the car will be Friday at 3. So that's when the post will be made. That's when the video will be up, hopefully. Maybe a little bit later for the video, but if you follow Death Machine Speed Shop on Instagram and on Facebook, you'll see it there. Or if you follow my personal accounts, Kenner Garrick, all that stuff, you'll see it there too. So it's a big deal. I'm excited. And then obviously Lightfoot's a big deal as well. So my first Highboy, my first cab swap, my first everything. And to think, sorry I'm going on about this, but it's a big deal for me, honestly, is because I'm doing this, especially Lightfoot, and everything else besides Showgirl, mainly. Showgirl I've done a lot myself, but a lot of stuff that I cannot do due to mostly living situation with the fact that I rent, have been done by my friends, and I will thank everyone for that in the next video, like I said. But because a year ago I had done my very first engine swap on Dolly, the pink F250. That's my first going from one engine to a completely different block style. That was my very first one, and that was a year ago. And to think since then, I've done the big block swap on Death Machine. I've done I guess you can call this one a big block swap, even though it already had it. But we did change the mounts, we did change everything to mount it into a Highboy frame, and with two-wheel drive headers. So, and now I'm doing a full-blown cab swap and everything else. That's freaking nuts. That's a big deal to me. And a lot of you guys are probably like, oh, that's whatever. I see it on YouTube all the time. I understand that, you do. And I know I'm not special by any means, but to me, I am special because, I couldn't see myself doing this a year ago, let alone, doing this for myself and doing it with, all these awesome people by my side. It's awesome. Yeah, Brian gets mad at me 90% of the time, but hey, you know what? It ends up looking cool in the end anyways, so, it's cool, and I can't thank you guys enough. I know not a lot of you watch my videos, and to the few that do, I really, really, really appreciate it. I appreciate every one of you, and because there's been a lot of times where I'm like, do I really need to keep doing this? Should I, but to the very few that actually comment and interact with the videos, thank you so much. That does keep me going, and plus a lot of the cool projects that roll in here are pretty cool. So, and if anything, because you see a lot of these YouTubers, they go on about, they have all these custom fabrication tools, they have all this, stuff that they can, all these, sponsors, and where I'm not one of those, so I'm doing everything as I can afford to. So, and if that's not the most natural way of doing this type of thing, I don't know what is. And, I hope someone, that watches these videos and thinking of doing something like this, I highly recommend it. It's tough to start, but hey, it's cool. Gives me something to do. And it gives me something to look forward to at the end of every week, is posting these videos for you guys. Yeah, they're not edited the greatest, because I simply just put it all into Apple Movie and say, iMovie, and say, screw it. So, can't thank you guys enough for this opportunity, and, I can't thank, if now we're going on the list for Lightfoot, I can't thank Hannah and Colton enough for doing this deal with Lightfoot with me, and and I can't thank Brian enough for, you know, letting me use his house. And then Josh, I can't thank him enough for, you know, using a loader to swap the cabs over and everything. And, you know, I should be doing this at the end of the build, but there's just a lot of, I feel like a lot of people have done stuff for me that I don't deserve. So that's why I'm doing this right now. So thank you guys. You know, you guys are amazing. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.